After the great flood and the troubles it brought, Zeus took an interest in a human for the first time. God's favor, a first for Breezy. Breezy was kept abreast of the events unfolding thanks to Sidon, the wonderful Phoenician dropperfly. The chosen one was Europa, daughter of kings, the Phoenician Agenor and Telephassa, a native of the city of Tyre. Zeus fell in love with the Phoenician princess and decided to win her over. To achieve his goal, he transformed into an imposing white bull and joined the herd belonging to King Agenor. While the princess was gathering flowers near the beach, she came across the imposing bull, approached it, and stroked its flanks. Seeing it very tame and calm, she ended up climbing onto its back. Seizing this opportunity, the king of the gods ran with the princess and entered the sea. Zeus resumed his original form and swam with Europa, now on his back, to the island of Crete in the Aegean Sea, taking her to the cave on Mount Ida, where he had been raised by his grandparents, Gaia and Uranus. There he made Europa queen of Crete, and with her had 3 sons, Minos, Radamatis, and Sarpedon. The king of the gods, concerned for the children, ordered the divine Hephaestus, who now had his marvelous forge installed on Olympus, to craft a giant bronze automaton to protect Europa and her children from the jealousy of Hera, Zeus's wife. Zeus named the bronze giant Talos and entrusted him with the care of the children as well as the island of Crete. Asterion, king of one of the island's tribes, eventually married Europa, adopting the children, one of whom, Minos, would become king of Crete. On the island of Crete, from the middle of the 3rd millennium BC, in the midst of the Copper Age, numerous advances took place that ultimately highlighted the brilliant Minoan civilization. This development made Crete a favorite location for Breezy and his group, who, from their headquarters in the picturesque city of Knossos, contributed to the cultural development of the growing Cretan civilization, creating a school workshop where ceramics, fresco painting, and metal arts developed greatly, producing sensational luxury objects. Very soon, the central and strategic island of Crete established a thalassocracy, or dominion of the seas, which extended across the Aegean Sea, the coasts of Asia Minor, and other surrounding areas. This also included its extremely important trade relations with Egypt. The most traded product by the Cretans was saffron, better known at that time as red gold, the most coveted and expensive spice, harvested with great ceremony and respect thanks to the blessing of the gods. Chloris, aiming to aid the growing Cretan civilization, with the help of the magic powder, caused a mutation in the pistil of the flowers, whose stigmas grew astonishingly, increasing their aromatic, cosmetic, dyeing, and medicinal properties. The fragrance of saffron flowers became so praised in Crete that many of the lavish palaces began to be built oriented so that when the breeze blew over the colorful saffron gardens, its scent could enter through doors and windows. In fact, the name of the island is closely related to that of the flower, which was known as Crete or Creta. During the reign of Minos, the son of Zeus and Europa, the giant Talos would patrol the island 3 times a day, preventing foreigners from entering and inhabitants from leaving without the king's authorization. When the giant Talos caught a foreign ship trying to enter clandestinely, he would quickly light a bonfire and step into it until he was red hot, then, in a deadly embrace, scorch his victims. Breezy and the Anemoy adventurers, who entered and left the island in the form of gusts of wind, were pursued by the giant Talos, who threatened them with a closed fist and shouted countless insults, unable to catch them. How could the giant Talos possibly catch a gust of breeze and strong winds? The beetle Kepri and the cat Cypress, who always accompanied Breezy on his travels, mocked the mighty Talos, certain that one day he would get what he deserved. After the birth of his first children with Europa, the king of Olympus began to father countless nymphs, the precursors of royal lineages in the Aegean continental region. These were the founding fathers of several tribes, among which the Aeolians, Ionians, Achaeans, and Dorians stand out. In many cases, the jealous Hera, wife of Zeus, and guardian of the most conservative religious traditions, took atrocious revenge on the nymphs who succumbed to the new order established by the king of the gods. But not only on them, she also took revenge on many of their semi-divine children. Following Zeus's example, other Olympian gods created their own offspring of immortals and mortals. One of these first mortals who stood out among men was Asclepius, son of the divine Apollo, one of the most multifaceted gods of Olympus. Several children were also born to Poseidon, with the feared Gorgons, among whom the immortal giant Athos stands out, son of the Gorgon Stheno, the most dangerous of the three terrible deities. Breezy, who learned from the infallible fates of Asclepius's destiny and his divine gift, traveled to Mount Pelion in the rugged region of Thessaly and asked his tutor, the centaur Chiron, to educate the boy, who would become a respected hero and an acclaimed physician. After accepting the young Asclepius as his second student, at the request of his beloved Breezy, the wise and humble Chiron began to receive new disciples, sons of Olympian gods and distinguished mortals, whose destinies had also been revealed to Breezy by the fates. Among them were Heracles, son of Zeus, Jason, descendant of Poseidon, as well as the brave Theseus, Peleus, and his son Achilles, among others. Breezy and his group, accomplices and witnesses of destiny, enjoy helping the human race and interact with all these mortal children and young people in the cave of the enlightened centaur. These disciples will become respected heroes. Breezy and his collaborators act subtly to help these chosen ones, as in the case of Jason and the Argonauts when they set out in search of the Golden Fleece.